Hi, it's Jimmy again. Thanks for watching my previews. Today we're going to look at the India West Indies series, or West Indies India series, played in the Caribbean. Going to talk about the West Indies first, mainly as a sort of a post-mortem of what happened in Pakistan, which they did actually draw that series 1-1, um, which was a surprising result to some degree. It was what I thought might happen, but I also was going in there with a fair bit of faith. But how did it happen? And in some ways, it's kind of mystifying. Just to look at it, the West Indies and their batting card, the opening situation is just a complete mess at the moment. One thing I want to get off my chest here: Devon Smith is not a Test player. He's not close to a Test player. He never was close to a Test player. I used to say Darren Powell was the worst Test player I had ever seen, and probably in history, considering how much opportunity he had. Smith is up there. Just to quickly go over, he's played 33 tests. He has 6 scores in those 33 tests. He's got 2 in the last 5 years. Only twice in the last 5 years has Devon Smith passed 50. He has 1 century in his career, and it was in 2004. He averages 24.71. It's over. West Indies do not select Devon Smith. He's not remotely close. Lendl Simmons and Craig Braithwaite, fine. I don't know. We'll see if they're going to be good enough. Lendl Simmons had 49 in the first test. But yeah, just want to get that off my chest. But the opening situation generally is a problem. West Indies started 1 for 15, 1 for 3, 1 for none, and 1 for 5 in the 4 innings they played there. The main reason they won was sort of twofold, and it was really to do entirely with their bowling attack, both with bat and ball in hand. West Indies finished basically 50-run stands in 3 of the 4 innings from their last 2 wickets, in some cases their last wicket, which speaks to the inexperience in the Pakistan bowling attack and really finishing them off. You do feel that Pakistan lost the opportunity here rather than the West Indies playing some wonderful cricket. Rampal and Sami both played well. Sami 5 wickets at 18.9, Rampal 5.5 per match. Per match, 5 wickets per match. Rampal 5.5 per match at 20.91. They're both excellent performances, and that's including the second test where Pakistan sort of started to finally get it together with the bat in that second innings. They scored 6 for 337 declared. With the West Indies batting card, real problems against slow bowling, and that bodes very poorly for this series. They lost 32 out of 38 wickets taken by bowlers in this series to slow bowling. And I've seen Saeed Ajmal, and he's no Harbhajan Singh. And I think you'll probably find maybe someone like Oha will play for India in this series, along with Harbhajan, and it doesn't bode well. The slow bowling side of things, the openers in particular are completely at sea there. Shandapur will help. He was out of the second test. I've always thought Samuels was quite a good player of slow bowling. He made a score, one of only 2 scores made by West Indies batsmen in that series, which is unbelievable in 24 innings to make only 2 scores from your batsman. They made none in the first test. So the slow bowling against that batting card, it's going to have to improve, obviously, but when you're losing 32 wickets in 2 tests to Saeed Ajmal, Muhammad Hafiz, for goodness sake, and Abdul Rahman, you're really going several steps up in quality against Harbhajan Singh. So that's obviously a real concern. As I mentioned before, not enough scores from the batsmen, and Pakistan and India's probably got a slightly better bowling attack as currently constituted, maybe just experience more than anything else that would give me that impression. They're sort of comparable, but Harbhajan Singh isn't comparable to anyone on the Pakistan side, as mentioned. So that's a bad matchup there. I don't know. One last point about the West Indies. I don't know why Adrian Barat isn't playing. Maybe he has an injury. Perhaps someone could inform me in the comments or something to that effect. But he should be playing. He had a really good series against Australia, and I'm sure Craig Braithwaite has got good first class record, and Lendl Simmons, they see something there. But you sort of pick a young guy like Barat and see how he goes, and he seems to go okay so far. Obviously, it's like Devon Smith, not the answer. Off to India. I'm not going to speak too much about them, just because it's sort of just obvious they're going to win the series, frankly. And I will speak to them about that next month when we talk about England as well. I'm particularly not going to talk about Indian batting. It's good. it'll be much too good for the West Indian bowling attack. Kemar Roach was down. I mean, I talked about Semi and Rampur bowling well, which is great, but really West Indies need Kemar Roach taking wickets. He only got 4 in that series, so that will be an area to watch. But they're going to score a lot of runs, and it's sort of an obvious point. With the bowling attack, though, this is an important point because yes, they'll take wickets, yes, they'll win Test matches, but England's coming up, and India's bowling has been poor, to be perfectly honest with you, generally over the last 2 or 3 years, and their fast bowling has been exceptionally poor. I wanted to go over that now. Khan, Srisanth and Sharma are likely to be the 3 guys you'll see. You may see a change here or there as they get sort of warmed up, although, as I say, when they're going to win Test matches, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for India to make those changes. But Zaheer Khan, a big 2010, and that was really the reason why people are sort of seeing him as sort of the left arm Jimmy Anderson. Took 47 wickets in 2010, took him at 21-ish, sorry. 15 of those 47 wickets were against Bangladesh, another 7 were against New Zealand. Those are 2 of the worst, well, they're the 2 worst batting cards in the world. So West Indies is a fairly substantial step up from that. I mean, they're going to play Sawan and Shandapur. That alone makes them much more formidable. If Darren Bravo again got to score one of those 2 scores, if he can do something, the batting card, as I say, as badly as it performed, particularly against pace bowling, doesn't look nearly so bad in no home conditions. So Zaheer Khan will be leading that attack. He's probably the steadiest of the 3. Will move the ball in the air, which is good. Should absolutely get opening wickets, as I say. The opening pair is a bunch of kids. Srisanth, after 2006, so 2007, 8, 9, and 10 and 11, has 2.6 wickets a match at 43.75. It's not good. And one thing I really noticed when I looked through the numbers of these guys, the econ rates are really, really poor. Someone like Sawan, if he can actually get himself going, could actually eat these guys for breakfast. Srisanth is nearly at 4 in the last 2 years. He's at 3.89. They can't hold attacks down, batting cards down. And Harbhajan's not that kind of off-break bowler that's going to be able to be economical for long stretches of time. So the one opening the West Indies might have here is their ability to score runs quickly and pressure the Indian bowling attack, particularly if they have the opportunity to bat first and set the tone a little bit more. It's a small glimmer of hope, and as I say, I sort of think this sort of defies analysis. They're hopelessly outmatched in many ways against India. The batting card is just chalk and cheese. But still, Srisanth has been poor. And one of the key issues, and what I want to touch on, is the Indian bowlers really need to show, the fast bowlers in particular, really need to show that they're capable of taking wickets. And this can be had. Sawan, Shandapur, okay, but this batting card is sort of perfect for them. It's hard enough for them to actually prove something, rather than just walking over guys. And they need to really show that they're ready for England. If they have a poor bowling performance here, then it's going to be difficult to see them winning in England. Finally, Ishant Sharma, 2.4 wickets a match and 43.95 away from home. Never played the West Indies, which is interesting. 2.9 wickets a match at 40.17 since 2009. He also has a 3.8 economy rate in that same time period. So they bowl poorly. Frankly, you're getting, between those 2 guys, if you're getting something in the order of about 5 wickets a match, 5.5 wickets a match, and you're taking it at 41 and you're giving up 3.8 runs and over, you're not bowling well. And it's going to be a massive concern when you have to face Strauss and Cook. And let's say Cook has a big series against Sri Lanka. It's going to be a concern. Pick. Look, it's pretty clear that India's going to win. As I mentioned before, batting card is way too strong. It's 4 tests. I can certainly see West Indies drawing one of them. You typically get a kind of an Antigua-style pitch in the West Indies. I don't know exactly where they're playing. I should have looked, but I didn't. But you usually get one pitch that's just, an absolute road, and I expect that to be the case here too. And the Windies, as I say, Sawan beginnings, Shandapur beginnings, those are really good players. Maybe someone else steps up. I think they can probably draw a test, and with the problems that I mentioned about the Indian bowling attack as well. Now, that's really the area to watch here, is what can the Indian pace bowlers do to this West Indies batting card, because that's going to be very indicative of what they're going to be able to do against England. A much better side top to bottom in a lot of ways. So we'll see how that goes. So 3-0 India. Thanks for watching, and next month we'll be looking at a couple more series, including India and England taking battle in England. Thank you.